I have Smokey here because I truly need emotional support to tell this part of the series.
Okay, so I made a slide about this, but then I thought, let me just record an audio. I wanted to talk about the Danish deception and how I'm noticing that so many people are taking this as an opportunity to start bullying Onyeka. Now, I do understand that there's a lot of lessons to be learned from her situation and that there's a lot of things she could have done differently to not end up in the situation that she was in. But from what I'm noticing, so many people are taking this as an opportunity to attack her personally. I'm seeing a lot of people talking about the way that she speaks. She's tucking her hair behind her ears. She has Botox and just going in on her mannerisms and her being as a person. But the honest truth is that has very little to nothing to do with her ending up in that situation. There's so many women that are still having men play in their face despite not necessarily presenting the way that Onyeka does present. And that should tell us that her presentation, her mannerisms, the way she talks, tucking her hair behind her ears has little to nothing to do with the fact that she was scammed. The only difference between Onyeka and other women who are making silly decisions for men is the fact that Onyeka actually had access to money and resources. Think about it. How many times have we heard stories of women trying to use their wombs, as in trying to get pregnant and have a baby in an attempt to keep a man that they know is not worth that sacrifice? If you were to give these women money and resources, what tells you that they would not direct those into trying to keep that same man? I think that the most important lesson to learn from Onyeka's story is the fact that women need to decenter men. You do not need a man to be whole and complete. Hence, you do not need to make unreasonable sacrifices in an attempt to be in a relationship with someone who is clearly not a good fit for you. And then the second lesson is also that we need to honestly decenter whiteness. But that lesson is not a lesson that is unique to Onyeka. It's a lesson that needs to be learned by a lot of women, honestly, a lot of POC women, and sometimes even white women need to learn this lesson. We hear of stories like Inventing Anna or the Tinder Swindler and how they were able to con a lot of people, including white people, because they had this representation that people just automatically trust. We really just need to do the work to deconstruct all these biases that we have been taught in society surrounding things like race, body size, appearance, and understand that success and trustworthiness does not come packaged in one specific way. Neither does poverty and dishonesty come packaged in one specific way. The more that we learn to understand that all these social narratives are literally untrue, the more we are going to be better equipped to pick up faster when someone is actually being dishonest and trying to scam us, even if they fit into the profile that society would deem as the specific way that they're trying to present themselves. I just honestly believe that people are being too hard on Onyeka. She's only 1 month out of this marriage, so she still has a lot of time to heal and look at the situation from a place that is not of hurt, but of self-reflection and learning the lessons that she needed to learn. I do think that it seems that there's a lot of people that are taking this as an opportunity to take out their disapproval or dissatisfaction with Black women that don't fit into the quote-unquote Black stereotype in terms of how they do their hair, how they talk, how they live their life, when that actually has nothing to do with the idea of like being scammed. And I think that we need to get to a place where we have a fine balance, where we can actually critically analyze her situation and talk about the things that went wrong and how we can do better to avoid such situations without necessarily attacking her as a person. Like, it's nothing personal. This situation is nothing personal. And there's a lot of people that could learn a lot from this situation. And those people are not necessarily people that talk a certain kind of way, tuck their hair behind their ears, have Botox, and all these other things that people are pinpointing about her and her lifestyle. Like, that stuff is not the cause of why she's in that situation. So why are we hyper fixating on those things?